I want to talk about two other blue bloods because I think it's a really interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Kentucky won. Kentucky last week won at Mississippi State, and they've now completed a sweep of your Vols. Sorry to you. They now
They're not
have
my balls.
yes, they are your Vols. So they actually now have 4 quad one wins because I believe it was someone just moved up into the top 30. So they now have 4 quad one wins. Either way, Kentucky's at the point
Kentucky's
now
going to the tournament.
they're a tournament team. It's going to happen.
Yes.
Georgia's now a quad 2 loss. They're going to the tournament. The question now for them is what seed they're going to end up getting. And when you kind of take a deeper dive into it and you see what they've dealt with from an injury perspective, we were very critical of Coach Cal finding a way to get to the right lineup. I think that once he got to that lineup, navigating Severe Wheeler being out, navigating CJ Frederick being out, navigating some of the limitations that come with having Oscar Shibwe being your best player, right? You know, Cason Wallace missed a game. He's been banged up. I think that he's actually done a pretty good job righting this ship and getting the Kentucky to the point where, like, you know, on any given night, are you really going to count them out of a game?
No,
I don't think you
You're not
will.
going to. No, they're capable of winning multiple NCAA tournament games. That's why we were expressing our frustration with this team to begin with, because you knew that they
Yeah,
were
exactly
capable of
right.
That's it. I mean, it wasn't us picking on Kentucky. I mean, some people were, but it wasn't us picking on Kentucky because you can't have the reigning national player of the year and have one of the best recruiting classes in the country and not be in the NCAA tournament. Which I know where you're going with the other blue blood because we're gonna get to them, and I got things to say about that.
Oh boy,
Kentucky,
I'm just happy it's not me.
Yeah, well, you're next. Kentucky to me is dangerous. Here's the thing about Kentucky, and it showed on Saturday. They attacked the rim. They went to the basket. They were cutting off the ball, utilizing backdoor cuts, screening well, going to the rim. All season long, we have said this is not a good perimeter shooting team. So on a number of sequences on Saturday, whether it was Damian Collins with a great find, he had a great find in the second half of this game. His one assist was a nasty assist, backdoor Jacob Toppin converts. Toppin, real X factor who's developed. Cason Wallace's activity. Guys, Cason Wallace is like a junior or a senior in college at the level that he can play at for Kentucky at times. His activity, dating all the way back to the Champions Classic, when Rob and I were sitting courtside watching him and we're like, oh my God, this kid's a freshman. His activity, his fingerprints are all over the game. He gives them 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 16 points. And here we go, guys. Chris Livingston's starting to get it. It took Livingston a while. It took him a while. I mean, he had 3 double-figure performances all season here before the last 2 weeks when he's had a couple in a row. Chris Livingston's figured something out, and he's figuring out that he's got to be aggressive for this team to win.
He's a good player.
He's a really good player, and now he's starting to see the results. What I loved about Kentucky on Saturday was Oscar Shibwe willed them in Knoxville. On Saturday, Shibwe had a good game. He had 16 and 7, but Kentucky showed they can be dangerous because for the first time all season, I was coming away watching them saying, wow, they achieved offensive balance today. And they achieved it somewhat efficiently by shooting close to 50%. They've got something here. And I got to tell you, I could totally see the committee putting them in an 8-9 game because of the injuries and all that stuff. If I'm a 1 seed, I would look at that and go, that's my reward in the first week in the NCAA tournament. I play Oscar Shibwe and Kentucky.
Yep, that's actually a perfect. Go ahead.
Would it be a 6-7 seed? A 6-7 seed, really?
That's high.
That is a high.
No,
it's gonna depend on how their season closes out, right? If they continue, they've won 8 of their last 11. They get hot here and they start winning out and they kind of find the groove. Then they can maybe make it up to that 6-7 line. The one issue is, like, if you don't beat Alabama, are you really going to add that many more quality wins? You know, there's things that might look good just because of the name, but it's not necessarily going to be great wins because of the metrics. They were a They were in the playing game as of Friday on our Fielding the 68 show.